Hi there, my name's Vince from mymatevince.com, and in this video today it's another fix-it video, another video where I've bought something faulty off eBay and I will do my best to repair it. As always, I'm not an expert in these repairs, I just like to give it a go and try it. Now this particular item here is from 1985, so if this one itself is from 1985, then it means it's 34 years old. Not exactly sure when this particular item itself came out, but that's when I look online, that's what it says the Tomy Chatbot is from. Now I know nothing about this item at all. I can see an item number here, and I bet you it's from Argos. I could maybe Google that, see if it comes up that it's from Argos. So it looks like it's in French this side and it's in English this side. So it says a memory for messages, records messages and plays them back by remote control. So basically it is a little robot, a little radio control robot, and it looks like it's got a tiny little, oh no, I was going to say a tape, but it's not. It's made to look like a tape, but they're eyes. Right, I'm not too sure how it records the messages. I don't know whether there is a physical tape in there or whether it's something else. Special delivery. He comes with a tray to deliver objects. Noteworthy. He can hold paper in one hand and a pencil in the other. Okay. Forward march. He speeds forward by remote control. Wireless remote control unit. Command him at a distance. And about face. He turns by remote control. So it looks like you haven't got full control. It looks like it must be just forward, turn, forward. So I suppose it's you could run into instances where you can't go into reverse and he might get stuck. And I'm thinking he only turns one way, not two ways, because it doesn't seem to be a huge amount of buttons on the remote control. Now I can't actually remember what's wrong with this one. I bought it in a job lot with other things. I don't know if you remember my Truckertronic video. And the Truckertronic video was basically in this job lot. I think I got them all for around 40, I think it was about 40 UK pounds. So let's have a look. So it's nice that we've still got the box. Here he is here. Okay, okay, well straight away I can see a nice lump of corrosion on that particular one there. Look at that. Right, so I think it's pretty safe to say that that's why it's not connecting. Whether there's other issues or not, I don't know. And interestingly, look, it takes two C batteries here and a 9-volt battery. That's quite unusual to have both lots of batteries in the one toy. And yet there you go. So he goes forward and he goes back, and it's just using this rubbish thing where once you go backwards, the force takes over, shoves it up there, and then makes it go round in a circle. So it's not going to work very well on carpet, I don't think, because these things normally don't. Yeah, so that's that aerial there reminds me of when I was a child. So this is 1985, so this is kind of my era. So the radio control cars that I had did have stuff like this on. So it looks like we pressed that to record. So again, I don't know anything about this one, so it's going to take me a while to work out what's what. I could watch a YouTube video on it, but that's going to sort of spoil the fun of seeing how it works, because I don't know how this works. And we have a tray here with horrible brown stuff on it. Sticky stuff. Don't quite know what that is. Don't know, maybe an animal's got in there or something, not too sure. But everything else is really, really clean. Right, so that's a good, box is in good condition apart from this huge bit here which is broken. So I suppose the first thing to do is, well, I don't really even know if it's worth putting batteries in. I suppose we could do just to see, but they're not going to make a contact. Those big C cells are definitely not going to make a contact. Let's see what this one here takes. So that's a 9-volt, that all looks nice and clean. Do you know what, it could be as simple as just cleaning that compartment up. So this might not be a very long video, or then again there might be other things wrong with this, not too sure. That's interesting, so that freewheels but grips that way. So it looks like it's just this wheel which is driven, and then when that reverses, hold on now, oh, so look, when it goes forward it only uses, so when it reverses it only uses one wheel, it must be. So when, hold on, when it goes forward, forward is going this way. So that's forward, and both wheels are going strongly forward. Then when it reverses, look, can you see that this wheel here is slipping? Hold on, watch. There, it slips. And that must allow it to spin in a circle better when it's going backwards. Don't know what that's for there. Oh, hold on. Don't know what that is. Maybe that's to play the message or something. Okay, that's where you put the pencil in here, and this is where it grabs the power. So it's just spring loaded. Oh, do you know what? I quite like the look of him, and it does look, that really does look retro, doesn't it? Let's get some batteries in and see what happens. That's a little tray, fantastic. No, I know it's pointless putting the C cells in because that's not going to make a contact. In fact, that's loose there completely. But let's put the 9-volt battery in just to see if there's any communication with it at all. Oh, here we go. Testing. I wonder how you play it back. There you go. Do you press that down to play it back? Testing, testing. Not sure. Remember, I can watch a video on it if it's if I can't work out what's what. Right, let's first of all take this thing apart and see if we can clean up this thing here. Also, find out how it works and stuff. So I know I could probably just scrape it in here and maybe get a good connection on it. But let's take it all apart and then we can really see what the insides are like. And I just noticed on the box here it looks like it's got a load of friends as well. So this is the chatbot here, but this thing looks a little bit more like R2-D2. And then look, there's quite a few ones, so I presume they're all working on roughly a similar type of thing. Do you know what? I don't remember any of these from when I was young, which is weird, because you think like I would have known somebody with one of these, but I don't remember seeing any of these before. Right, let's get it apart. Okay, I'm not going to concentrate on this to begin with because I think this looks in pretty good condition. It's all clean there. So I think I'm just going to work on this to start with. So it looks like there's 4 screws at the bottom to undo. Actually, 1 minute, I'm just going to get a white thing underneath this to stop the mess going everywhere. Right, so it says here Tomy Singapore. Right, and there's more screws at the back here. Right, here we go. Excellent. Oh, hold on now. So this is... no, that hasn't broken, so you pull that down. But why is that not retracting? I wonder whether this is similar to... this is interesting. I wonder... Do you know the toys that I always have a nightmare with, the pull string toys? I wonder, you know, like Andy Pandy? Have to remember that one. And Rupert the Bear and the Womble and Mickey Mouse. Those ones. I'm wondering if it's the same thing going on here, because look, that's pulling down here. But look, can you hear it? Goes up a little bit, then stops. So I'm thinking that should go all the way back up to here. Oh, this is good. Oh, and then look, you press that and it presses the button down here. Oh, I'm really curious now. See, this is the great thing about it. Yes, a cheap toy, and most people probably think it's going to be boring. Also, you can see that there must have been a dog in the house where this came from. But what's in that? And that's what makes it interesting. See, I just thought it'd be electronic. I didn't really think there'd be any sort of like pull string to record something. Or is it just a case of doing this instead of pushing a button? I don't know. But I bet you that's to record it. So let's get straight in here now and take this off here. Also, I can see down here, look at the fluff. Wow, look at the fluff on that gear there. I'm already liking this one. Here we go. Right, so we've got wires going into it. Oh, look, it's moving up now. Look at that. Look at it. It's going. So, I wonder, does it take much to stop it? Yeah, look, it's powerful. Look at that. Obviously, I'm not using all my strength. Ah, so maybe it just needs to be freed up. that string is particularly clean because again it's all encased. Well, I think I'm going to have to take this all apart, and this looks like it's to record. Well, that is to record, isn't it? That's the record button up here, record. Right, let's strip it down a bit further. So I need to take the front off it. Let's undo this one here. Doesn't really want to come out unless I force that, which I don't want to do. Let's see. Let's take the arms off. Okay, so that's just on a spring, and it just rotates around like that. Okay, so that's not motorized at all. I don't think, anyway. Let's get the other arm off. Maybe the arms do move up and down. I thought they might be just like a friction move like that. Right, this one doesn't want to come off. Right, that didn't come off very nicely. I think there's just going to be friction move, because otherwise why would there be teeth on there and teeth on here? You know, if it was to be movable via a motor or something when it moves. Not too sure how the rest of it comes apart, if I'm honest with you. Can't see any screws in there. Hopefully there's nothing hidden in there or here. Just having a little feel around, see if I can feel any holes. Looks like there's a speaker here. Oh, there's another big screw in here and here. Fine. Here we go. Right. Oh, whoa! Check out the eyes! So a light must go, and they must go different colours when that turns. Look at that. Right, so this is the speaker here. These things are just a friction fit, so the arms just move around wherever you want to move them when you hold the paper and the pencil. Right, these two things just fell out, but I think they're to do with the cord. Let's undo the speaker here. That's just a cover. And a little speaker. That all looks in really good condition. Two tiny wires going up here, which looks to be shorting around each other, so I'm not too sure what they're for. Because they're actually touching each other, unless they're enamel coated, so they're not going to short, I don't know. Let's see now, let's move that out of the way. So that all looks pretty good. That can be cleaned, but it's already looking pretty good as it is at the moment. Right, so what have we got here? We've got this thing here which moves down, so that's purely to do this. Looks like we've got a motor here for a resistor, another resistor, and looks like some sort of capacitor. Right, and then we've just got an axle here with the gears here with that there. So that all looks pretty straightforward enough. I don't know what this bit here is for though. Did something come off that, I wonder? That there, why is that sticking out? Okay, I'll worry about that later. Let's strip it down more. Right, that all looks clean enough. Let me zoom right in there so you can read everything on it. So it says Tomy Japan, and the chip here says, there's like a big T, then it says TA7657P. So I presume that's the brain. Would this be the thing that, I don't know how it works. Does this keep the voice recordings on it or something? Don't know, or is that all to do with this thing here? Let's try to get into here and here. Interesting. So these two bits of wire come up and go to this thing here. Is this like a magnet? You know, like when it gets energized that it sticks this in here? I bet it is. But there is a bit of paper over that magnet, but maybe it's strong enough to stick to the magnet behind it. Right, and this thing here spins this, which has to be for the eyes. The weird thing is it's not kind of glued onto it, it's just on a little clip, but I suppose it doesn't have any resistance. And I can see a little light bulb in there. If you look very closely there, you can just see the light bulb just there. Also, there appears to be some kind of spring here. That doesn't look right, does it? Where should that go? Right, okay, that might prove troublesome. Maybe when it goes on here I have to... Maybe it's to do with this. Maybe the spring has to go that side so it flips back, and then when it's energized it must pull it in, and then when it's not energized the spring brings it back. That must be it. So I bet when I put that on there, when I've finished looking at it all, I bet I'll have to put that spring this side of that, this thing here. Right, so what drives this? Again, that gives, doesn't it? Look. So it grips that way, but not that way. Pretty complicated. For me, anyway. What I don't understand is what actually spins this round. Oh, sorry, it's this, isn't it? Of course. But why isn't that? Why is it so loose on there? I mean, even now, look. Unless it spins, I don't know. Don't know why that's not glued on there. Oh, actually, to be fair, when you put it down, it does spin pretty good. Right, okay. I don't think I need to worry about any of that. I think I need to look at this thing here. I think this is going to hold the key to it all. Let's see if I can get this off completely. I can. Alright, let's undo this. Hopefully it don't all jump out at me. Like a clock winding up a clock. And that's slowly spinning round there now and pulling that in. So that must be the thing which is spinning this white gear, which is spinning the red gear, which spins the other red gear, which spins the thing for the eyes. If I take this apart, I really want to see the inside, but I'm thinking it's all going to spring out at me. Thing is though, this is the thing that makes the fix interesting. So I'm pretty sure I could just clean up those battery contacts, but we're not going to learn anything from just cleaning up the battery contacts, are we? Now, I know I say this a lot in the videos, but if this was real life, in other words, if you were doing this purely just to sell again on eBay and make money, of course you would just clean up the batteries. But because it's the video, it makes it more interesting to see how something works. I don't know whether this is designed to be designed to come apart or not. Very tight. This is all moulded. Oh, whoops. There's some skin. Yes, 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 here we go. Wait for it. Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. That is a record player, isn't it? Not going to touch that. That looks like it's a record player. hold on now, but how does it re-record the message? Because on a record player, it's just basically plastic, and it looks like, if you were to sort of look at it, if you could zoom in at it, it'd be like a sort of mountain, and the needle bounces up and down all the different mountain shapes to produce the sound. I wonder if this is more than that, if it's if this is like a disk, you know, like a disk drive, floppy disk drive sort of thing. Right, doesn't matter which way this goes on. Which way did it go on? This way, isn't it? I'm going to do this really carefully. So basically that's that side. I'm not going to touch that side, but I will have a look at the other side. The main thing is now it is moving back, and it wasn't before. I don't want to touch that because I've got a feeling that I could end up breaking it. I'm just going to get a tissue just to clean up that tiny bit of blood. Right, let's take off the other side and see what's happening on the other side. Good news is it's pulling back now, so that's great. Let's see if I can take this off as easy as I did the other side. Yes, you can. I'm so glad I've done this. Wow. Right. Okay. So we have this thing that moves. You can see there's contacts there. So when you press, how does this work? Oh, look, look, look. When you do that, it's moving the copper onto different contacts. So let's put it all the way. Well, I presume if that was properly where it should be, properly seated. Yeah, look, you're on the end contacts now. So if you look closely here, can you see there's three lots of contacts? So it must do, maybe, does it do the recording when it's in the middle contact? Does the end contact tell it to start recording or something? And why is it not pulling back now? Oh, no, I've got to be careful. That moves across there like that. This is the thing that tells it to start recording. Why? What is that doing? Oh, look, it's moving the metal contact in here. Can you see right the way in here? When you press that in, that's moving down. So that's just simply an on and off switch, isn't it? I wonder now, have I stopped that from moving in? See, there's still plenty of grease here, and I don't really know what grease that would be, so this is kind of sealed, so I don't really want to clean that. And remember, it did start to move properly towards the end, so just by me messing around with it, I probably somehow freed it up. Should I take it apart further, or should we call it a day there? So this is on a spring. If I let that go, that's going to keep on going, so really I should leave that there. Or is that even supposed to be there? Let's have a look at this side of it. What's on that side? It's like a rubbery. So that's just like a break against the roughness of here. So let's pull that back. What I've done is I might have pulled it too far out now, so I might have to take the lid off again, because I'm not sure about. It looks like there's too much out. I think I've probably pulled it past onto the next notch, maybe. Let's see. It's only going to there, and you can actually see when I pull that all the black stuff on here, look, from where it's been breaking. Let me zoom out a bit. Doesn't seem to go very much now. Right, we've got a bit of a circuit board there. I don't really want to get involved in taking that out because I don't want to do any damage to the other side. Let's pop this on. Let's screw this back up. Right, so that's that. Now let's see what happens. Right, so it goes as far as there. I'm just going to temporarily put it back into place just to see how far it should go. Right, so it's doing the same as it did originally. Remember, it only moved from there to there. But yet, before I took it apart, it started to work properly. So why is it not going all the way now? It's because that's getting caught in here, isn't it? Getting caught on that big plastic bit, but it's designed to get caught on that. Look, you can see there. It's hitting against that. What I'm going to do, I'm going to lift it past that bit and see what it does now. Maybe that's supposed to be the stop. Maybe this has got a bit bent and jumped over it when it shouldn't jump over it. That looks more like it, doesn't it? Why is that not going all the way? Because it has to move this. Ah, so that pulls it right the way around to there. And then it should, I thought, but it's a brake, so it should move it along, shouldn't it? Maybe that's it. Shall I try that? I don't want to go further than that. Which isn't enough to move this across, I wouldn't have thought. Also, it's very dirty here. Do I need to clean that? Could it be this that's making it stick because there's like a rubber residue on here? I don't know. Maybe I should get a cotton earbud and you know, a Q-tip and some rubbing alcohol, just to some IPA, just to sort that back bit out there, because I don't want dust to fall down onto that disc the other side. A little clean. Yeah, it's coming off. Maybe that's why. Maybe it was too grippy or something, and it stuck to it rather than sliding across it. I don't know. I'm not going to put it on this bit because I've got a feeling it will have a reaction with the rubber and cause problems. Well, there you go, that's clean now, isn't it? See if that makes any difference. Sure why this is shaped with this arm coming out here. You see this bit? I can't see what that actually... Does that clip into there maybe? Maybe that goes into there. Let me try that. I can screw that up before putting that lid on. There. Right, let's see it now. It's definitely pulling it in more than it did before, so I think we'll leave that for the moment. Let's now concentrate on cleaning it up and sorting out that battery contact. So all I'm going to do now is, shall I take this apart here, see what the contacts look like on the inside? It looks nice and clean, doesn't it? No problem with that at all. Yeah, that looks spotless in there. Right, let's pop that back together. Pop Pop it back in. What, didn't make a note of it, which way this went round. It shouldn't make a difference though, should it? Actually it will, because one side will be on and one side will be off. I can't remember which side that was on. Let's just take a chance with that. I can always change it. Right, let's get rid of the dust from this gear down here. Notice that there's a screw missing here on this side, and I don't remember undoing that one from here. Look, maybe somebody has been into this one before, because there's a screw this side. I don't remember. I don't think I undone that one. Thinking about putting a little bit of mollycot on that, like plastic grease, but I'm not going to, because what's going to happen is it's just going to transfer down to this side, and then it's just going to get all over the carpet and pick up the hair and everything. So I think it's probably best to leave this grease free. It's also interesting how this side works here. Look, that can just spin this way, grips and spins. Wouldn't mind seeing how that works. You know what? I know some of you might be getting bored of this, but I'm going to take that apart because I'll be quite interested to see how what that does there. So apologies if you find that boring. The screws seem to be the same length, same type as well. Right, okay, that's that one. That's that one. So that motor looks in very good condition. I could put a bit. I can put grease on these ones here. Yeah, so that's good that I took that apart. Oh, we got a crack. Yeah, we got it. That's a shame. Yeah, we got a crack there. So if you look closely, look at that. Can you see? So what happens is apparently with these plastics, they shrink over the years. Remember now, 1985, potentially 34 years old, the plastic shrinks, and then the axle doesn't shrink, the metal doesn't shrink. So basically as it shrinks, it just cracks the gear. Right, I'm glad I took that off because it allows me at least to put a little bit of glue in there. Not that it's going to make a massive difference, but I've got a feeling this motor is going to work because it does seem to be, you know, I'm putting pressure there, it's not spinning freely on that axis there, on the axle, it's not just spinning freely. So I'm just going to put a little bit in there just to help, and then I'm going to put some of that mollycot, you know, the plastic grease that I was talking about, on there. So at least, I'm glad I took that apart now. Right, let's see if we can see what's happening with this thing here. Side is solid and it's got little bits of rubber on there as well, but that's lovely. Do you know what? That's like a bicycle. You know, where you go back, where you back pedal and then it grips. Can I see how that works? Don't want to break it, you see. I think I'm going to break it. It must be some sort of there's ball bearings in there. Let's see if I can get right in there. We're just going to turn on the macro feature a minute. Right, I've got macro feature on, but I still can't see in there. I'm sure it's probably something pretty simple. Let's zoom out again. Could I try to work that off there? Maybe I could. Let me get some pliers. No, it's going to come off from this side. It's already working off from this side. I can feel it. Yeah, maybe I should not worry about it because I've got a feeling I might end up breaking it. Oh well, that's one thing that should remain a mystery to me. That is nice though. Right, if you know how that works, please just add it down to the comments. So you can see now, spins nice that way and then spins freely. So it takes the axle, doesn't take the axle. Right, okay, I think that's enough of taking it apart. Let's get some super glue on here and let's try to clean up this badly corroded terminal as well on the bottom, and then put it back together and actually see if it works or not. There might be loads of other problems with it, I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to super glue up this gear now. Now I've got to be careful because this is like it slips. So for example, if the wheels get jammed, it won't then strip the gear. So remember, this motor is always going to be turning, and if the wheels did get jammed, what happens is, can you see if I stop this white gear here from turning, see what happens there? On purpose it slips around there, hence the reason for the spring. So I've got to make sure it doesn't actually touch the slip bit. I just need to make sure it goes down into this bit here. I'm not going to go crazy with it, it might not even make any difference at all. Right now it does actually seem to be okay, so I'm just going to try to put a bit of glue in there. You know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to put it on my tweezers instead. Thing with the glue, it just pours out, then you get a blocked nozzle. Just try to rest a bit on here and see if it seeps down into it. Right, I'm not going to do any more than that. It probably hasn't made any difference at all, but well, I'm just going to give that a little bit of a spray with some activator. There we go, that's just some super glue activator that makes it go off pretty much instantly. And I want to make sure that it's still going to turn if I hold this here. Yeah, that's still turning, that's fine. Well, whether it's made any difference or not, I really haven't got a clue, but I suppose every little helps. Now let me take this one out now. I can give this a good clean, get rid of all the fluff from here. Right, now I'm going to add some grease to this. I'm just going to put some grease on the actual axle as well. Right, so that bit's done. So I can put the cover back on here and the wheels back in. Now I also know why this bit is sticking out here. It's to allow it to move in and out. You know, this is the bit with the spring. So if the wheels get caught, this will just spring out a couple of millimeters to allow it the motor to still spin. Now I'm going to get a fiberglass pen and I'm going to do my best to clean up this corrosion down here. So it's on this one here very badly. These 9-volt ones look okay, so I need to clean up this one and I need to clean up this one here. I'm also going to get some white vinegar as well, just in case it's still spreading. I very much doubt it is, but I'll give it a quick spray just in case it's still being eaten away. Well, I'm just going to squirt a little bit of this white vinegar on both of the bad contacts. Reason being is that they're alkaline batteries and this is an acid, so hopefully by putting the acid on the alkaline it should neutralise it, but I've got a feeling that these are not going to be getting eaten away anymore anyway. In fact, let me just put that in there and then spray that, use the cotton bud to put it all over there. Right, you can see that this is probably going to take me a good 20 minutes or so, so I'll be just fast forwarding through all this bit. I'm also going to use the metal here to scrape it because it's really bad, so if I can get some of it off with this, I can use the fiberglass pen to kind of clean it up at the end. I've been scraping it away and I have got a lot of it off, but it's still really corroded. It's not going to make a good contact at all, so I'm kind of struggling a bit with this because this is flexing and stuff. I'm just going to get some sandpaper and I'm just really going to rough it up, and hopefully that will bring it back to some shiny metal. Right, okay, I think that will do now. So now I have to give it all a nice clean up because there's just rust and sandpaper residue and stuff everywhere. So I'm just going to use some IPA for that. Right, it's far from perfect, but I think that will make the contact now. I mean, look at that there. And if you have a look round here, okay, excuse, that's just from the air that I just blew at it. But look, that will all wipe away when it warms up. I think that's going to be okay now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it back together, and yeah, then I can kind of give it the final clean, because right now I'm still having to be pretty careful with it because remember I've got these very thin wires and stuff going to this part here. So let's pop it back together and then I can give that battery compartment another clean. I can put it back together, but I've sort of had a thought that I still don't actually know what this part here does. So I presume when it energizes, it sticks this to here, and then when the energy is cut from it, the spring brings it back to here. But what difference does that make? I can't see this going through to anything else. I mean, maybe when I put the rest back together it will make more sense, but right now that's not making any sense. I don't know what that would do. Unless, does it stop this from spinning? No, it wouldn't stop that from spinning because it would just be this thing here. Do you know what? I really don't know. Let's put it back together and maybe it will make more sense. If it doesn't, hopefully somebody watching this will know, and then you can add that to the comments. Right, I've pulled this off from there, so hopefully now it will go in easier. While I'm here, I'm just going to put a bit of grease on these gears as well. Do you know what? Maybe it's for the sound. Listen. Maybe it's as simple as that, but you think that would wear away a bit there? Don't know. Right, so I'm going to place that around that side there. That little spring. Yeah. See if I can get this in now. Right, I think that's it. Right, so let's push it down now and see if it works its way back up. No. Right, so is it this thing here that's stopping it? Oh, here we go. There. Oh, and that spins, look. Well, that was spinning. It did spin for a second. There you go. When it's upright, it spins. Look. Still don't know what that magnet thing is for, though. Right, I think let's carry on with the putting back together. Saying that, I could just test it now, couldn't I? Because I might have to take this switch apart. Let's pop the batteries in and see if it does anything. To get that in there. I don't want to bend it. Oh, I bet that has to go in. That has to go in with that white thing removed. There's a white thing in there, a bit of plastic that's blocking it. You can see the cutout here. It's annoying. I'm going to have to take that off. There we go. I managed to get that in now. Oh, but I've just broken the tab down here. That is just about to snap. Oh, nightmare. Right, let's screw this back up here and then worry about that tab. Oh, the battery kept falling out, you see, so I had to keep putting the tab out to make the battery stay in. And now the tab's nearly about to... it snapped, but it hasn't come off completely. I'll show you in a second. They're riveted on. They're not screwed on. Right. Right, so this one's okay. This has got a nice bit of spring to it, but this one here is snapped at the very bottom there. But it hasn't quite gone yet. Right, so there's a wire that goes to... Oh, so it's part of this one here, look. No, where is it now, this one? Yeah, it's that one. So it joins that one with that one. So all I have to do is actually bridge those two together. So in theory I could just run a wire from here to here. I wonder, would I be able to solder it in there? Might be able to drop some solder in there and it might make a contact, because it hasn't actually snapped fully yet. Right, I think I'm going to try and drop some solder in there. It's going to be a bit of an awkward one to film. Let me just move the camera a bit. Well, I'm not sure if this is going to work because the metal's in pretty bad condition, but let's just give it a go. Let gravity do its job a little bit by trying to drag it down into the crack. I think it's given it a little bit of strength. It's still very weak. I'm going to have to pack down underneath here with something to give it a bit of strength to pull it out, because remember now it's lost its kind of spring. Actually, that is much better now that it's gone fully hard. It's definitely better. You know what? That's not too bad. I think once I pack that underneath there, that might work. Well, I just need to find some plastic or something to wedge behind it. Right, I've got an old telecom back box here, and I believe that these are supposed to be flame retardant and stuff, so I'm just going to cut a bit of this up to shove down behind that to pack it out a bit. Right, so I've cut a little bit off there, trimmed it down, and now I am going to place that in there like so. Oh, there we go, it's about to break. I think it's still holding in there though. No, is it gone? No, it's gone. Right, big problems now, big problems. Right, well what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to glue that in position like that, and then I'm going to have to I think glue this onto there, and then I'm going to have to run a jumper wire from here onto here, and then that should be okay. Let me just see if this is going to be too thick now. No, it won't be. No, that'd be pretty good actually. That will make a good contact there. Right, okay, let's get the super glue out again. Okay, about 10 minutes or so have passed since that last bit of filming. I didn't hit the record button I can't remember why. I don't know whether I zoomed in or not. I'll have to watch back the video to find out. But I looked up and the camera wasn't recording. So basically what I've done is I put the white bit of plastic in, I glued it, I then put that metal thing on, glued it, and then I got the soldering iron and I used a little bit of jumper wire from the existing blob of solder right to the little rivet here. So basically now the rivet is connected to this purely via a wire, so it doesn't matter that it's snapped anymore. And if you listen now, there's continuity between here and here. Okay, so that's all good. Then what I did is I put the batteries in and it didn't work, so I figured that the switch must be the wrong way round. Remember this switch that I took apart? So what I did is I undone the switch, flipped it round the other way, then turned it on and the light lit up. That's where I've got to now. So what I've done is I've gone online and I've found the instructions from it, and it is actually straightforward enough. Basically you have to put this lever down at the side and then hit record, and it will record the message. Then apparently what you can do is, if it's working properly, you can then hit this button here and it will start to lift. Every time you hit this button the lever will start to move up, and then every time you let go of this button it will stop. So I think what you can do is record different messages at different times. So let's see exactly what's working and what's not working. So turn it on there and turn it on here. Right, now first of all let's see if the wheels are moving. Right, I can see the wheels here. Right, so that's forward and backwards. Okay, so the wheels are definitely working. Now let's see what's happening with this record feature. So it says to speak into the microphone on the chest, but there's just a speaker here, so I can't actually see the microphone unless the speaker is doing... Would it be picking up the microphone as well? I don't know, because I can't see anything that resembles a microphone here. Anyway, let's pull this lever down and see what happens. And hit this button. Wait a minute, is that going to move up or not? Right there, right. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. My mate Vince. Birdie Num Num. Have you seen that film, The Party? Right, okay. Now, let's see. Okay, so it's doing that now. So now, if I hold it all the way down... No, it should stay where it is. It should only be where I do this. So obviously that thing, that clicky thing in there, is not doing its job, because that should stop now. But saying that, it's still not recording me anyway, is it? Right, so it's going to work as a robot, but I need to find out why it's not recording and why it's not staying there. So I need to take this thing apart again and find out what's happening. Yeah, so these wires here, you know, these thin wires, they've definitely got a coating on them, because look, continuity, nothing's happening. So it doesn't actually matter that they're not that they're touching together, because I thought maybe they were shorting against each other, but that doesn't make a difference. So that's like that magnet wire. Well, let's turn it on now with it all taken apart, and let's see what happens with this switch here. Yeah, look. Look. Right, but why does that stop? Oh, it just stops this from turning, is that it? Right, so that's like that, and then the spring drags it back out, and then it closes again. Right, so good news is there's definitely communication between the controller and this, because every time I press it, it's working. Right, okay, that's good. So why now? I need to work out why. So when you, hold on, one second, when you press it, it goes like that, and when you let go, it should spring back to stop this from turning. But that just looks like a really bad design. I'm sure that shouldn't just whack against there. Let's turn it off again. Really, I need to undo the circlip thing if I can. There you go, off. Right, so that's that. that's that. I'm not too bothered, I know the turning thing works. So now why, when this is on here, let's see if we can work out what's happening. So this needs to move, what, just to there, like that. Even this bottom bit doesn't seem to be in position properly. Oh, it goes this way round. Ah, of course, I had it in this way thinking it was a bad fit. It has to go this way round, or, hold on, better still, I presume it goes this way, does it? It goes wise that way? No, maybe not. Let's try this way. That's how it goes. Yeah, that's how it goes, like that. Right, now let's turn it on. So that goes there, and then it's going to pull it in. Yeah, okay, let's put the spring back on it and see what happens. Okay, here we go. There we go. Look at that now. Excellent. Right, let's turn everything off, put it back together, now see if it does anything. I mean, it still might not record because maybe that disc thing's faulty, but at least I'll have a better sort of understanding of what's happening with it. Right, so let's see what happens now. So turn this on, and that's working. Okay, so let's put this down, hold this. Right, so that's not releasing it, but that is releasing it. Okay, so that part's working, but what is not working is when you press this button down, it should then come up as well. So this button isn't releasing what it should do. So I need this in order to record it, you see. And that's not doing it, but at least this part's working now, because you can see it's moving up. Hold on. No, so it's going up now, wait. Well, no, not really, is it? It's working at the very bottom, but not at the top. Seems quite a complicated toy. No, it is working. Just a bit hit and miss before, so the handle now has gone all the way up. Right, so now I have to work out why the record button's not working. Now, could it be something to do with this thing here? Does something else have to be pressed at the same time? I'm just going to have a look at this top bit. So this went in here like record. So maybe this has to release something. I'm not too sure. Maybe I should put a bit more back together and then I might have a better idea, because maybe it's not faulty. Maybe when I press this it holds onto some part of the lever or something like that. Don't know. Oh, it does. Look, it goes down in there. But I don't think it hits anything. So it's just like that. Right. Oh, look. It actually moves that part across. So if you look closely here. Watch this. When I press this down, it moves that across here. So maybe that is going to work now. So let's try that again. Let's turn that on, turn this on. Push this down. Now, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Right, so now let's push that all the way down. And now let's do that. No, it's not recording, is it? So all the mechanism's working, but it's not actually doing, it's not recording. I'm wondering if that disc thing is faulty. So it looks like I have to take a closer look in here, because the mechanism's definitely working now, and it's going forward. Hold on. Is it going forward? Yeah, forward, backward. But unfortunately it's not recording for some reason. Unless it's a microphone issue. Maybe it's a microphone issue, because I can't actually see a microphone on here. Right, okay, I think what I'm going to do is, because the video's going on for quite a long time again, which is the normal things with my videos, I think I'm going to take a look at it more closely, and then when I sort of work out what's happening, get back to the filming, because it did say speak into the chest, but as far as I can see there's nothing on the chest here which is a microphone. There's only this speaker here, and surely this speaker here is a thing which is going to play the thing, unless it somehow records it as well. I really don't know, unless there's another microphone somewhere which I cannot see. It's an interesting toy though, so I'll get back to this when I know a little bit more. Right, okay, this is a really weird one. I have got it to work a couple of times, but there doesn't seem to be any consistency to it. So I've swapped the batteries over and stuff, because maybe I thought the batteries were at fault. This is really weird. I think it might be a speaker issue rather than a drive issue, because I did have a look on Google, and basically there was only one thing I could find, and somebody said that the grooves on the disk drive go flat and then it stops you from recording on it. But I have got it to work once or twice, but only for a few seconds. So now watch this. Let's turn this on and turn this on, and now if I go speak, right, so nothing's happening there, you can hear, but then sometimes if I fiddle with the speaker here, sometimes it will work, but it's really hit and miss. So let's try to record something. So let's push it all the way down. See there, basically when it goes noisy, that's when it seems to work. So it's noisy now. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. I don't think that's noisy enough. Now listen. I think the batteries have gone flat again. I don't know what it is, but it just seems to eat up the 9-volt batteries. Hold on. No, see, look, the forward and reverse is not working now. Yeah, so this is a problem I've got, so I'm just going to keep working on it. I'm running out of 9-volt batteries, because the ones I've got are all old now. But I thought I put a new one in this, but then when I went to test it, it was completely flat. Yeah, that's gone flat again with the old tongue test. Right, yeah, there's still plenty of power in that one. Let me try another 9-volt battery. So I'm not too sure. I'm wondering if it's an issue with the speaker. I'm still a bit confused how a speaker works as a microphone as well, but I think I might have actually heard about that before, that it can work. Or is it a microphone can work as a speaker? I'm not too sure, because I suppose either way it's picking up vibrations, isn't it? I just thought, I don't know, unless I'm shouting into the wrong thing. Maybe there's a microphone built into somewhere else that I should be shouting into. I really don't know. But anyway, you can see the problem I've got. I'm just going to keep doing my best to work out. It would be nice to get this working now, because I've spent quite a bit of time on it again. Right, I've just put some fresh batteries in. I haven't done anything else unless the wires are in a perfect position, but watch this. Ready? Testing. Right, so let's do this again now. Let's put it all the way down. Testing 1, 2, 3. See, this is not right here, because it's not together. Let's do that again. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 4, 5, 6. Testing 7, 8, 9. Nearly forgot how to count there. Right, let's see if that's going to work now. There, right. No, it's really hit and miss, isn't it? How can it work sometimes and not other times? Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing. It seems strange. It's like when I put the batteries in initially, it seems to work, but I think that's just all coincidence. The problem is, it's so hit and miss at the moment. I'm not really getting anywhere. So what I've done is my wife's going out at the moment to get some more 9-volt batteries because I keep just putting in old ones that are just losing their energy straight away, just in case it is as simple as that. But I can't see how. There's enough power in it to kind of make it go forward and back, so you think it would be able to record. Plenty of power for that. Testing, testing. I'm going to keep moving it around saying testing, testing, testing to see if it picks it up, and then I might know if it's a bad connection on the wire. There you go. Right, now, is that because I just took the batteries out, or is that because it's now working? So let's try that again and do exactly the same again. Testing, testing, moving it around again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right, now let's see if that works. Excellent. Fantastic, right. Okay, I don't know why it's working now, but it seems to be working now, so maybe I should just put it back together, and then when it's all kind of together, because obviously this is quite important here, it only works when this is kind of, I don't know, like fully aligned. Sometimes I have to push that in to get it to connect, so I'm thinking when it all gets pushed in against whatever it gets pushed into, maybe then it will work properly. Right, now before I put it all back together, I think I'm going to resolder the wires on this speaker here, because they both look, I don't know, they're okay, but they're not brilliant, so I think I'm going to unsolder them and then just strip them back. But I might do it to all of these wires here. They just look I wonder whether the corrosion went up and just attacked this a bit. They don't quite look as good as the others, if you have a look. They're not bad by any means, but they just seem to be, because this stranded wire, just seem to be a little bit weak there, that one, especially that bottom one. So I think I'm going to strip each of these ones back, unsolder them, strip them back, and just put those ones back on again. It's not going to do any harm. This wire here is very corroded. Ooh, that doesn't look nice at all. Let me put it on macro. You can see that one there, so the corrosion's gone down into that. So maybe the battery acid has travelled up the wires, or would that be unlikely? I think probably the battery acid's probably gone maybe up to this layer here ever so slightly. I think that one there should be separate, you know. No, that's fine, they are joined. I can see the actual right back to the trace now, and I can see that it's joined, so that's fair enough. Right, okay, so that's them done. Hopefully, I don't know whether that has made any difference or not. I don't think it has, but there's no harm to do it. And I've got my new batteries now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fully put this back together now, and hopefully, when it's all back together, it might be working all right. Right, let's just do a quick test of the speaker again, and then we can clean them all up and put new batteries in. So forward, backwards. It looks like the eyes are lighting up. So let's put this down and let's do record. Testing chatbot 123 on the 22nd of August 2019. Right, let's see if that's going to work. No, it's not. How fussy is it? Right, let's put some new batteries in it, and then we're not dealing with, because that's on my mind at the moment, thinking is it because the batteries are flat. I'm going to put new batteries in both of them, and there's no chance then. That's unless, of course, the two C cell batteries are playing up. Right, so it definitely didn't record me before. Let's try it again. Maybe I need to speak into this more. Testing chatbot 123 on the 22nd of August 2019. I'm just going to do nothing for a bit. And now I'll do it again. Testing 10, 11, 12. Right, let's see if it does anything.
On the 22nd of August 2019.
That's very clear, but it missed out the first bit.
Do nothing for a bit. And now I'll do it again. Testing 10, 11, 12.
Right, well that sounds brilliant, apart from it didn't do the first bit. So this time, I'm not going to pick it up, I'm just going to do it down here. Testing 20, 21, 22. Chatbot on my mate Vince. Date today, 22nd of August 2019. Alright, let's see if it did that.
20, 21, 22. Chatbot on.
Oh, it's gone. No, it's seized up.
On 22, chatbot on my mate Vince.
Then you can stop it.
Date today, 22nd August 2019.
Right, it's very clear. It's very clear, but it's still hit and miss. I mean, I don't really know if I'm going to get any better at that. I think I'm going to clean up the robot now. I don't fully understand how that little floppy disk works on the inside. But at least I'm really glad that it is a floppy disk, because I thought it would have been a tape. I thought it would have been some sort of tape on this, so that's pretty good. Right, okay, I'm going to give it a nice good clean up now, because there's a lot of, I don't know whether that's food or whatever it is, and the brown stuff in here. So let's get rid of all that. Right, there we go. It's come up nice and clean now. Fair amount of dirt on it. So now it has the little tray. If you want to give somebody, for example, a present or something like that on their birthday, you can drive it up to them. You can move their arms into 3 positions like this. And yeah, look at it. It's come up really, really good. Remember, 34 years old. So I'm well happy with that. And even in here, it doesn't look too bad. Just need to give that a dry. I mean, it's not great, but it's okay. As long as it works, that's the main thing. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play around with it a little bit downstairs, just on the kitchen floor, to see how well that works, and then I'm going to film the ending of this video. Hopefully then it will be operating as it should do. So we'll be back very shortly. Right, I've been mucking around with it, and do you know what? It is working pretty good. It's not perfect. Sometimes it seems to get caught around here and you have to push it down and go through it again. But 9 times out of 10 it's working, and it sounds pretty clear. Do you know what? I'm really happy with how this one has come out. So you get the idea now. You can put, for example, a note in here, a pen in here, or if it was like someone's birthday, I think the idea, it said on the instructions, you could put a little cupcake here or something and deliver it to the person, and then you can play them the message, like sing happy birthday or something like that. So it really is pretty impressive. And also, look, you can turn that around and stuff. I actually think this toy, I've had it for a long time. I've sort of been putting off trying to fix it because I didn't think it'd be that good. It's really surprised me. The inside of this was really interesting. I still don't fully understand it, but it's definitely working like some sort of little floppy disk or something like that. And the very fact you can speak from here, I think that's a really clever thing. I didn't think it would be able to do that. By pressing this, you're releasing this with that little magnetized thing. So yeah, really happy with this one. So let me just drive it around the room a bit and you can see how it works. So basically, that's how it turns. And then you can see it goes forward. 1 second. Yeah, forward. So the idea is you can go to somebody and then turn it. Oh, hold on. There we go. Right, so sometimes when you go to turn it, because it's working on that little wheel, and also if it gets caught in a groove here, then it won't turn instantly. I haven't checked out the range on it yet, but it seems to be working its way around the kitchen. I think that is pretty good, and also the way the lights light up are nice. And then when it speaks to you, that wheel spins, so it looks more real. I think it looks nice, especially when you put this in as well. You know what I mean? It looks pretty modern for something that's 34 years old. So I'm going to leave it now with a message to all of you lot out there. So here we go, let's face it towards the camera. It's back where I started. Hold on. There we go, perfect. Right, you ready? Oh, I forgot to push this down. Right, ready?
So that is it for this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe for more trying to fix videos. Take care. Bye now.
And look, you can stop it there, and then you can play another message and another message. So for example, you could record maybe 5 or 6 messages, bring it up to somebody and have a pretend conversation. So how good is that? I can't really end the video any better than that. And the eyes light up and stuff when the wheel spins. What a lovely toy. I think he's got one more thing to say.
By the way, I almost forgot. This is quite possibly the worst YouTuber in the world.
How dare you? I've given you life and I can take it away again. That is it. If you have enjoyed it, I've certainly enjoyed this one. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye now.